When we think about how a new life begins, it's easy to imagine some big, dramatic moment. But the truth is, it all starts with this silent, absolutely microscopic journey. Today, we're diving into that incredible first week, from a single cell to a developing embryo.
So, what does it take to begin a new life? Well, it's not just one single event. It's more like this extraordinary, perfectly timed biological ballet. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and take a look.
Okay, so to really get this journey, we first need to know the lay of the land, right? We need a map. And our map for this adventure? It's the female reproductive system. Our whole story basically unfolds across these 4 key spots. First up, you've got the ovary. That's where the egg cell comes from. Then the action shifts to the fallopian tube. And this place is super important. It's not just a pathway, it's where the real magic happens. The final destination, of course, is the uterus, and more specifically that inner lining, the endometrium, which has been getting all prepped for arrival.
And believe me, that preparation is so crucial. I mean, long before our journey even kicks off, the endometrium starts to thicken up, getting really rich with blood vessels to create this soft, cushioned landing pad. It's like a welcoming nest, getting ready for a very, very important guest.
All right, the stage is set. So now our 2 main characters, the egg and the sperm, begin their own separate journeys, hoping to meet.
And here, you can just see the massive difference between our 2 travelers. It's kind of amazing. On one side, you have the egg. It's just this one single large cell. And get this, it can't move on its own. It's just released, and then it waits passively in the fallopian tube. And then you have the sperm. We're talking millions of them. They are super motile, just swimming like crazy towards the egg, guided by these tiny chemical signals. It's this epic race, and there can only be one winner.
Okay, so those separate journeys are about to come to a dramatic end. The climax of this first act, that moment of fusion, it's about to happen.
Now here's a really interesting point, and something a lot of people get wrong. This huge, momentous meeting, it doesn't actually happen in the uterus. Nope, it happens way earlier in the journey, right there inside the fallopian tube.
So what is this moment, biologically speaking? It's called fertilization. And you can think of it like this. Both the sperm and the egg are haploid. That's just a fancy way of saying they each carry only half of the genetic instructions needed for life. When they fuse together, they form a single diploid cell, a brand new cell that now holds the complete and totally unique genetic blueprint for a new person.
Yeah, it really is just beautiful, simple math when you get down to it. You take 1/2 set of chromosomes from the sperm, add 1/2 set from the egg, and boom, you get one complete set in a brand new cell. And this new cell, it now has a name, the zygote.
So now that we have this single new cell, the zygote, it's not just sitting around. It's about to begin a week of absolutely incredible transformation, all while it continues its journey down towards the uterus.
So this new zygote, it doesn't swim on its own. It's actually carried along the fallopian tube on what you can imagine as a tiny conveyor belt made of these little beating hairs called cilia. But here's the thing, it's not just a passive passenger. As it's traveling, it's already changing, undergoing this super rapid transformation through cell division. The scientific name for that is mitosis.
And this growth, it's just explosive. I mean, it starts as that one single cell, the zygote. Then, right away, it begins dividing through mitosis. One cell becomes 2, 2 become 4, 4 become 8, and so on. Pretty soon, it forms this solid little ball of cells called a morula. But it doesn't stop there. It keeps dividing and starts to hollow out, becoming what's known as a blastocyst. What's just wild is that this entire complex transformation is happening while it's still just floating along on its way to the uterus.
Okay, so after about a week of traveling and this non-stop transformation, our little blastocyst finally arrives at its destination, the uterus.
This is it, the moment of arrival. The blastocyst reaches the uterus and it starts to sink into that soft, comfy endometrium lining that's been waiting for it. This is the critical moment we call implantation. The long journey is over and the embryo has found its home for the next 9 months.
And it's at this exact point with implantation that we can say, technically now, pregnancy has occurred. This is the moment that kicks off all the hormonal changes that, would eventually lead to a positive pregnancy test. What's just amazing to me is that even at this incredibly early stage, the cells already know their jobs. They're already specializing. You have the trophoblast, that's the outer layer, and it has a huge role. It's going to form the placenta, which is the whole life support system for the embryo. Then you've got the inner cell mass. This little clump of cells holds the potential for literally everything else.
It's destined to become the embryo itself, forming all of its future organs. The blueprint for a whole person is already right there.
So when you look at it all together, this entire first week is this perfectly timed, intricate biological ballet where every single step has to be perfect. And that kind of leads to a final thought, right? What happens when the music stops? Because this whole process is unbelievably fragile. A single tiny misstep, something as simple as a blocked fallopian tube, can prevent the travelers from ever meeting. It can stop this incredible journey before it even really gets a chance to begin.